Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 really needs a quality of life update. A quality of life update for video games tends to be for the most part, a free update that takes existing features and improves the user experience on those existing features. In this video, I've got about 14 or so of these quality of life updates that Xenoverse 2 kind of really needs. So at an absolute bare minimum, Bandai will know about these, because in a couple of weeks time I will send this video to Bandai for their consideration. So at an absolute bare minimum, they will now know that this is stuff that we want. Now, will they do anything about that? We'll have to wait and see. With that said, I need your guys' help with something. Please make sure you watch this video in its entirety, then leave a comment after you've watched the video saying which of these you agree with and what you disagree with, because I can then sort those out and also send those comments as well. And also feel free to leave your own quality of life updates that you would like to see for a future update. But again, keep it as a quality of life update, not a new feature. For example, if you ask for new awoken skills, or for example new fighting styles for custom characters, or for example content from the Dragon Ball Super manga, yes, we all want all those things, but that's not specifically a quality of life update. With that said, let's now get into the list. And also, side note, the order of these are kind of random. It's not in terms of necessity, it's just me writing them out, so do keep that in mind. Let's get on to number one. Started off number one on this list, one that is undoubtedly universally agreed on, because I've never actually seen not even one comment or one person say the contrary. Please, oh please, can we please in Xenoverse 2 get more custom character slots? As of right now, we can only make up to 8 custom characters in Xenoverse 2 before we then have to delete one of them to then make another one. Going back now to the original Xenoverse game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 1, Dragon Ball Xenoverse, whatever you want to call it, you could also only make up to 8 characters in that game. Now for Xenoverse 1, I kind of get it. Kind of. They barely, just barely get a pass in Xenoverse 1, because in Xenoverse 1 you can make up to, well, 8 characters. And it's 8 because then you can make one of each race and gender, so one male and female Saiyan, a male and female Margin, a male and female Earthling, a Namekian, and a Frieza race. And of course, in Xenoverse 2 as well, you don't have to make one of each. You can make 7 Namekians and 1 Frieza race, should you wish to do so. In Xenoverse 1, I understand it, I get it, I prefer more, but you know what? For Xenoverse 1, the original Xenoverse, it barely just gets a pass. However, in Xenoverse 2, sure, you can, at least as of right now, can only, well, there's 8 different options for making a character. Once again, a male and female Saiyan, a male and female Margin, a male and female Earthling, I forget what I said, and a Namekian and a Frieza race, you guys know. So you can make up to 8 and any mix of them if you want. In Xenoverse 2 compared to Xenoverse 1, you can run and use characters so differently compared to Xenoverse 1, with so many different options. I don't know a single person who has made 8 characters and all 8 of those are the 8 available options. I'm sure it's happened, but man, at this point, can we please get at least 20 in total? Now, given when the Hero Coliseum was being updated, given that you could, buy more, I forget what them called, like character slots for summoning, but it cost TP medals, which you could buy with real money. I don't know why they haven't done that for slots in Xenoverse 2. Now again, I'd say make them available for free. Give us 20, give us 12 more. 20 is plenty, I think. I'd say more as well, but whatever. But you can then even put it, and I wouldn't like this, but they technically could lock this behind TP medals and or STP medals. I don't know why they've not done this. I really don't. I don't think it's something that would be game breaking, but whatever. Let's now move on to number 2. And up next we have, please add a slider when talking to Tosok in Canton City to level up. For the purposes of this video, I decided to firstly back up my save data in the PlayStation Plus cloud so I wouldn't lose any of my Zenny, TP medals, Super STP medals, whatever they're called, or anything like that. I then made a brand new character called CAC on G Fuel, by the way, to save at least 20% off, maybe 30%. Had to get that plug in there somewhere. Again, code CAC on checkout for at least 20% off. But it took me from level 1 to the max level as of right now, level 140. It took me about, give or take, 16.5 minutes. 16 minutes 32, I think the final time is. It's on the screen right now, or it will be in a moment. That's to get from level 1 to 140. We know the level is going to be increased later on to level 199. When you go to level 200 plus, we'll have to wait and see. But it's going to take longer to do that in the future. And by the way, that's not including the loading time. That's not including, you know, making the character, the appearance, the settings, all of that, the voice. That's not including putting the equipment on, the stats, you know, adding the stats, the moveset. That's just talking to Tosok and speaking to him and clicking the inputs as fast as I humanly could. And yeah, 16.5 minutes to get to level up 139 times. It's going to take probably like 25 minutes by the time it gets to level 199. So please let us have a feature or add it so we can just use a slider to level up to the max level that we are at on other characters. So if you're not at level 140, obviously you can't get there. Maybe do it like that. And then make it so you can decide if, you know, to use Zenny and then TP medals and or STP medals later on, so you can just instantly go from level 1 or whatever level you are to the highest level that your highest level character is. Please, this is such, like, please, I just need this. 16.5 minutes, dude. Next up, we have stackable sets of Dragon Balls. As of right now, in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, you can only have up to one full set, or rather just one each, of the 7 Dragon Balls. I don't understand this. It doesn't even make much sense from like a lore perspective if you really want to go that far, because I mean, everyone in Canton City can have a full set of Dragon Balls and summon Shenron infinitely, right? If there's like 500 people in the lobby, everyone can get a full set. It doesn't make sense. Dragon Balls aren't even that overpowered. Well, they're actually not overpowered, to be honest, especially even mid to late and like super late endgame. The way it works right now, you get a full set of Dragon Balls, but if you then receive Dragon Balls as like a gift from like an event or what have you, you can technically accept them, but they just vanish. It doesn't say, oh, you've already got them, they just vanish. Please allow us to have up to 99 sets of Dragon Balls so we can just grind them whenever, so if and when we need them, we have them ready to go. Please. Look, and I do remember getting a while ago, because it's not the first time I've asked for this, but I did remember a comment a while ago saying how this would be impossible because the game wouldn't know what Dragon Balls you have, so you could like grind for like hours and get 10 sets of Dragon Balls without getting, for example, the first star. That makes sense to some extent, but not really, because there's a character in Canton City which, if you make a character and then defeat Raditz, you can talk to a character called Sanut by the Orange Star High School in Canton City, and when you fight her, it's a very easy fight. She's at a low level. It's like for beginners to learn the game. She'll give you a Dragon Ball starting from the 4th star and then cycling through to the 5th, 6th, 7th, 1st, 2nd, then 3rd, depending on which Dragon Ball in that order you don't have. So, that's not an issue. Please, stackable Dragon Balls. I don't think that's too much to ask for. I really don't. Number 4 on my list, which is also universally wanted, more accessory slots. Oh, please. So, we have to talk about breakers. If Dragon Ball the Breakers can do this, there's absolutely zero reason, nil point, as to why Xenoverse 2 can't. Like, please, more accessory slots. Now you could argue, oh well, people wear like 5 different wigs. Bless them if they do that. People who want to make good looking characters that look cool and all that, they won't do that, or they'll find some way to make it look cool, I guess. But if people want to have like stupid accessories that, like, you know, like the Yamcha wig, the Tianchi wig with the Goku wig, and just like stacking them to make it look like a stupid character, I mean, people do like make dumb looking characters anyway. Like, please, more accessory slots. I can't see why this isn't added. I really can't. Next up on my list, personally, and I've not really seen anyone say anything about this, but fix the auras in Canton City. So in a somewhat recent update, they have added custom auras, so you can, well, not custom auras, like auras you can buy that are extremely expensive, but that's neither here or there for this specific video, that you can use like vehicles and CC mascots as of right now, just in Content City that changes your aura. That's awesome, cool, awesome, fantastic. But here's the thing. When you then fly, it removes it and goes to the default aura, and then the custom aura, or the special one, will appear once you finish flying. This is literally pointless. The only way you can enjoy this is if you just stand still. Who does that? So please change it, or they should change it, so when you have any of these other auras equipped, like Legendary Super Saiyan Rose, Potential Unleashed, or if they add more in the future, such as, well, it's already in the files as of right now, Villainous mode and Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, how it's so when we fly in Content City, it changes it to that aura. Like, this is one way to, like, what I really don't know why they've not done this. Like, it can't be game breaking, I would imagine not anyway. And you can also make it a bit of a bonus where you can also have it so it changes your base form aura online, like in PvP or in fight rather, when you have a specific aura equipped. And also, bonus one, if you hold down square, you should be able to quick switch between auras, CC mascots, and vehicles. And you should also be able to have a vehicle equipped anytime, because Content City is quite big and the tail Pai stick is the fastest vehicle, at least as of right now. Again, this one seems like a feature that was completely rushed and it feels like it wasn't given too much attention. Number 6 on my list, and again, this is one that I see being requested universally, like universally accepted as something that we want. Please, 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 and I've lost count how many times I've said this, I've even done videos talking about this, full videos, please update the Crystal Raid mode so the rewards are updated for the most, like, I guess, like the latest online raids from the previous update. So they should do it now. As of right now, have it so when Future Saga Chapter 2 comes out, they update the Crystal Raid mode so you can get every single online raid reward, even artworks, Super Souls, equipment, accessories like the Yukari Broly wig, the Goku Vegeta snowsuits, the Tientra outfit, the Tapion outfit, as drops from the Crystal Raid mode. And then after each update, also update the Crystal Raid mode to add the previous raids or updates rewards, if that makes sense. This will make this mode probably the most popular mode, because people will be playing this to get all these rewards. Like, this seems to me like a no-brainer. But again, if Bandai didn't know before, maybe, hopefully they will know after this video is sent to them with your guys' support. The next quality of life update on this list specifically, I am actually surprised the most out of everything on this list that's already happened, well, I've already spoke about, and will speak about after this. This one is most surprising to me that it's not already added. Can we please get a sort by alphabet option for everything? Sort by alphabetically, whatever. Grammar, nice. For example, with skills, clothing, super souls. For example, I know let's say Hell Flash, for example, the key-based ultimate. I know it's roughly give or take towards the middle when you go and look through key-based ultimate attacks, but I can't remember exactly where. If we can sort it by alphabetically, I know it'd be mostly towards the top. And do you know what? If you want to even make this even better, have it so there's a search feature so you can type in the name of the skill and you'll come up with everything that you just typed in with the keywords. For example, if I then type in Gadget Gun, it should come up with every Gadget Gun attack or every attack that has the name Gadget Gun in there. Again, this is like such a basic one for me. I am genuinely surprised this isn't already available. I don't have anything else to say about this. I'm just surprised that this isn't already something that's in Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, given how unbelievably and extremely basic this is, and given how many things and items and attacks and skills and all that there are in Xenoverse 2. Number 8, can we please get more active raids happening at the same time? As of right now, in Xenoverse 2, there are 4 types of raids, online raids. You've got the standard one, you've then got the elite raid, you've then got the extra raid, which is the trickiest one of all 4 that's added so far. Then you've got the rarer one, which is the celebration raid, which I believe, again, at least as of right now, this recording and upload has only happened once, and that was to celebrate Xenoverse 2 passing over 10 million units shipped. GG, that was like over a year ago at this point, actually like a year and a half, whatever. These are all in different locations in Canton City, quite far apart from each other actually. So what I'd say is don't have them all start and end at the same time. Maybe have it so the next one would start after every 2 days. So you've got people have got time to grind out the previous raid, and this is going to allow more rewards to come back to the game on a more frequent level. And also it's going to make it so when you have like the breaker week where they don't do a raid and they just do the like the 2 days of the freezer event, then a couple of days of an online tournament, then the Supreme Kai of Time event, you would still have one of these events on or one of these raids on. So for the people that have already finished those other events or aren't interested in PvP for the World Tournament, it will just give us something else to do, right? So again, have these. I mean, you can just have it so there's like a light raid and a normal raid, or a normal raid and an extra raid. 2 will be fine, but I don't see a reason why they should just stick to 1. Like, am I crazy in thinking this? Plus, I think this would make Xenoverse and more so the online lobbies just feel a bit more alive. Again, am I wrong on this? I don't think I am, but let me know in the chat. And speaking of online raids, can we please get it so there are more rewards from the raids? They've kind of done this, or they kind of do this with some extent with like the New Year's raids that they do, which tends to have, for example, like 3 or 4 different outfits, even though most of those, if not all of those outfits, can be grinded in the Crystal Raid mode right now. So it kind of feels like a bit cheeky that they do that. But there's several tiers of getting damage in raids which will give you certain rewards. For example, you get rewards or new rewards after doing 5,000 points of damage, 15,000 I think, 30,000, and then 50,000. And then very, very rarely there will be like a super soul or an accessory for getting 100,000 damage. Otherwise it's just TP medals and like the nicknames that we've all got hundreds of times over. I actually even wouldn't mind it if they then add more tiers, like after 100,000, maybe if you get 250,000 damage, maybe you get a 4 set of Dragon Balls, right? I would like that. They will actually give me an incentive to grind out the raids more, to actually be able to get Dragon Balls, especially if you can stack them. Check earlier on in the video if you don't know what I'm talking about, or if you've forgotten, or even make it so if you get like 150 or 200,000 or even 250,000 damage, you then get some of the more rarer or useful rewards like the Boo has reached full power Super Soul, and or the let's make this the ultimate final battle Super Soul, the Tianxia wig, the Paragus outfit, the Broly wig, the Tapion outfits, the different versions of those, the 5 current versions. I don't know why they don't do this. I know I've said that a lot, but as someone who has played the game a lot and made a lot of videos on the game, this seems like something that they would have done to improve the existing raids in Xenoverse 2. Number 10 on this list, please let us use the locked stages, or the stages, maybe not that are locked, but that are only available in certain quests and or in certain modes, such as the Wiz, like training inside Wiz's staff, which is just a literal skybox, Toki City and the different ports in Toki City you can actually fight on. It can just even make them skyboxes if it's too difficult, right? I actually wouldn't mind that at all. Maybe even Canton City as a skybox. And for example, the Freezer spaceship. Now, going back to I believe it was just before the original Dragon Ball Xenoverse game was released, there was like some sort of like interview or have you where they basically said how the Freezer spaceship stage won't be usable online or in free play or have you outside of like a couple of parallel quests. And the reason they gave was something like, I'm not quoting them verbatim, but it was that something like how they did say it was the camera angle, like camera issues, but I forget exactly what they said. Okay, fair enough. For Xenoverse 1, maybe it was an oversight. Okay, cool. So then in Xenoverse 2, why is it still in the game as part of the same parallel quests? I say the same parallel quest. I think they've been updated to add new characters like Turles and Lord Slug and all of that. Just change it, or change it. Just change it if it's that big of an issue. And if it's not that big of an issue, let us use the stage online, offline, even in photo mode. you know, this one is just like so confusing to me why it's not added. But you also can't use the excuse that, well, not the excuse, you can't use the reasoning rather, that it's just going to be too tricky to fight on. If we also have stages like the mountain stage, as well as the open field, I think it's called the open field stage, which I've had lots of issues with the camera angles on those stages, hence why for the most part I don't tend to, again for the most part, I don't tend to use those stages much online when I'm doing videos, fighting trash talkers, etc, etc. Now I also wouldn't necessarily mind if they make these existing stages playable as part of a paid DLC if it's a like map DLC, like a stage DLC, like a map pack, where it's also got a couple of brand new stages, such as, for example, off the top of my head, Beerus's Planet as a playable stage, and the Otherworld World Tournament stage. Have some new raids and then make that a DLC pack just for stages. I actually wouldn't really mind that at all. Next up, we have the Xenoverse 1 Villainous mode characters, which were playable even online in Xenoverse 1, the original Dragon Ball Xenoverse game, but for whatever reason, at least as of right now, so far, they have removed these characters that were already in Xenoverse 1, going to Xenoverse 2. Yes, in Xenoverse 2 we have super villain characters and ultra super villain, but not the original Villainous mode characters, which just look, I think they look so cool. I forget off the top of my head, I'm sure there's background footage now showing them, but again, off the top of my head, I do forget how many of these characters there are, that they are in Xenoverse 1. I think about 6 or maybe 8 or 9, I forget. Make these available in Xenoverse 2, maybe even updated so they become available if you have the Legend Patrol DLC, because again, if you don't know, the Legend Patrol is the Xenoverse 1 story mode in Xenoverse 2. They did that because the Switch came out after Xenoverse 1, so it's just a way for people who play Xenoverse 2 on the Nintendo Switch to play the Xenoverse 1 story mode with the DLCs included. Have it so if you have that, maybe you get these characters anyway, or just unlock them for everyone. I would say to also have it so if you've done the data transfer, you get it, but not everyone would have, and you have to delete your data to actually do a data transfer or to change the character that you use in said data transfer. Again, I'm just trying to think, like, would it be justified? And let me know in the comments, please. Would it be justified if they made a paid DLC pack for those characters? Maybe, maybe not, or maybe if they also add the Villainous mode skills such as Darkness Mixer, which will be overpowered, as well as skills such as, you know, Rage Saucer outside of the Raid version, and Baked Sphere. Let me know, would you get that if they decide to charge for those characters, or should they be added in the game because they are literally already in the game's files because of the Legend Patrol DLC pack? In the same light as adding more custom character slots so we can make more than 8 custom characters in Xenoverse 2, I think we should also be able to have more presets of characters, of our custom characters rather, at least a couple more, maybe making an even 10 with the current clothing, so in total 11, and then also allow us to rename the presets. Apart from custom characters, which is like preset 1, preset 2, up till preset 7 or 8, I forget off the top of my head, than the one that you're wearing, the current clothing, I think it's called. Every character has different preset names for their clothing. You've got, for example, Goku in like his gi, Captain Ginyu version. You've got Mira, like the Universe 7 and all that. You've got Saiyan armor for Vegeta. So it's something that they can do because it's literally there. And if we want to make, for example, like I always have to double check, apart from like a handful of my builds, like my first preset on my main character, my Super Limit Breaker build, I always have to check for the most part if it's the right build I'm using. So being able to label and to name the different presets, I think would be extremely useful. Can we please get it so we can get, maybe not all of them, because some of them are really good and I think it would be a balancing issue, but can we please get some of the original character, as in like from the show, or already made characters, not custom characters, unique skills available to use for our custom characters, such as Surging Spirit, such as Final Charge, which are both basically Ultimate Charge. I think they might even be the same, it's just a different animation. Now, as of right now, when we use Ultra Instinct on our custom characters, we can use Surging Spirit. It's built into the Awoken. So I can kind of see them not adding that for like base form or like other Awokens. You know, like if you're in Super Saiyan 3 using it, it would be cool because it's a cool looking stance and pose and all that good stuff. But like for example, with skills such as the Final Flash super attack, can we please get skills like that for our custom characters to use? Please. And finally, can we please have the option to switch off the Xeno voice when we use the Tournament of Power stage? Please. That's all that for this one, but you could also maybe expand this and maybe even add it so for stages like the Cell games, you can have Cell speaking, you know, commentating over everything, and the World Tournament announcer doing the same thing for, you know, when you pick the World Tournament stage and for other stages as well. And of course, if they did that, there should also be an option to switch those on and off as well. And those are some of the quality of life updates that I think should be added to future updates to Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Do you agree or disagree with me? Please let me know in the comments and leave your own suggestions. I can probably do a couple more videos like this, so let me know what you want to see in a future update, quality of life update. Thank you all for watching. More videos on the screen right now, and I will see you on one of these videos in just a moment.